Social media has changed the world forever. These social sites have made it easier than ever to share pictures. Being the 16, 17, and 18-year-olds you are, I'm sure you all know what Instagram is, so raise your hand if you have an Instagram account that you post pictures to. So looking around, it's easy to see that taking pictures is something we all do. So to edit the perfect Instagram picture, the first thing you need to know about are the apps to use. So the first app that I like to use is Airbrush, and this is a free app, and there's a lot of tools on this app for users. One that you can use is the smooth feature, and this will conceal any fine lines in the image. Another feature is the brighten feature, and this is mainly used to highlight eyes, but it can also be used to highlight anything. And finally, there's the resize feature, which allows users to make anything in the image bigger or smaller. So this is the original image that I used. Click. Okay, the mic. And then if you click again, Abel, this is the edited picture. So I use the smooth feature to smooth out the lines in the back of his shirt. I also use the brighten feature to make the bricks around his face brighter, and then I also resized his arm upon request. So his arm is bigger in the edited image. So after your picture's been edited with Airbrush, you can save it and then re-upload it to the next app that I'm going to talk about, which is VSCO. And on VSCO you can edit the 4 photo controls, which is going to be brightness, contrast, sharpness, and saturation. So brightness is generally the simplest in concept. It's just a way to make your image brighter or smaller. So on VSCO, it's known as the exposure, and you have the ability to make it greater by 6 or less by -6. So if you play the little clip, as you can see, I'm going to drag all the way to +6, so it's super bright, and then I can drag it all the way down so it's super dark. And you can kind of just play around with every control until you find something that you like. So I think I saved it at, -1.2. I just thought that made the picture better. So then the next photo control that you would play around with is the contrast. And according to Learning with the Experts, contrast is the difference between the darkest and brightest areas of an image. So again, you can bring it to 6 or all the way down to -6. So if you play the clip, you can see when it's all the way up, the image has a greater contrast in color, and then again with the lower. And then I again just play around with it until I find something that I like how it looks. Next is the sharpness, and according to Steve's Digicams, sharpness can be defined as the edge contrast. So that is the contrast along the edges of a photo. So when you adjust the sharpness, it's just going to change the contrast around the edges, and it just kind of makes your picture more bold, and it makes it stand out. So again, this one's a little different. You can only bring it up to 12, or just bring it originally. So again, just play around with it until you find something that works for your image, and every image is going to be different. Finally, the last photo control that you work with, do you want to go back? You missed one. Is the saturation. And according to Learning with the Experts, again, saturation defines a color's intensity. The more saturated a color, the more vivid it appears to be. So as you can see in the clip, when it was all the way up, the colors were super vivid, and when it was low, it was more gray style. So once you have the perfect saturation, brightness, contrast, sharpness, you can finally pick out a filter. And this is personally my favorite part. On VSCO, there's thousands of filters you can use. They give you free ones, or you can purchase more. So you just kind of click around until you find a filter that works well for your image. There's no certain art or special way to pick the right filter. You just kind of find one that works well with the image. So for example, I showed this filter, which I didn't like how it looked. I thought it made the picture look bad. So I ended up choosing the A2 filter because I think it made the picture overall more powerful. So this was my original image, and this is what it looked like after I edited it in Airbrush and in VSCO. So once you use Airbrush and VSCO and learn about, edit all the photo controls and retouch anything that needs to be retouched, you're ready to post to Instagram. So next time you're at a football game or on a family vacation, you now know how to enhance your pictures to make an even stronger post. I can't wait to see everyone's new and improved pictures.